Did you blink?
Nope.
I don't think I blinked.
Nope. I didn't have time to blink. It was that quick.
The games are coming at us thick and fast. Already on to map number 2 here between FaZe and Malvinas. This game for a chance to play Furia later on. Well, sorry, not later on. Tomorrow, that would be. And of course, a chance then to go on to the grand finals. For FaZe, this is all they need. An Oregon win here would see them through. Guarantee them to the major happening in November in Sweden. Malvinas, they got 2 maps to find. They need to make very few mistakes from here on out. Strange old set of bans coming in. We've got the Ying ban. It's a little bit of an off-choice one demo.
It's interesting to see these bans come in. I mean, I think the Ying is obviously expected from FaZe, seeing that Malvinas, they weren't afraid to play the Ying. We've seen it on Cafe. Valkyrie being banned out does now leave the potential of Mira being played, which, again, like I kind of mentioned about how Mira played on Cafe, where it can essentially force a team away from a push. The Mira windows be placed in Cafe, it meant that you couldn't push Piano. Equally, we can see Mira be brought for the basement, and it means that you can't go a laundry freezer take. It forces you into a blue take. So there is elements to where we can see Mira be very, very influential in this map.
And we have done. I can't remember an Oregon that we've seen where we've not seen Mira played, especially on this basement. It's almost been a staple. So it's weird to not see FaZe lean into that when we know that they're happy to play Mira elsewhere. Could be something that they look to do past round number 1, depending on how this one goes for them. They've got a solid lineup still. They've got the good old Mute Mozzie combination, restrict a lot of drone work, a couple of C4s thrown in there as well, deployable shield on the smoke. So they're going to be able to tick pretty much every box there. And I imagine that confidence is quite high at the moment on FaZe as well. They've just been able to win Cafe fairly comfortably. I don't think that they're going to be too concerned going into Oregon now. So we could see them go for a little bit more of a roam, a little bit more of a lurk than just stack the site. At least that's what these operators would suggest.
Heading in to first round of this basement attack, and look at how FaZe have set up Ollie. Very heavy on the roam game, surprisingly, considering that this is a basement defense. To see what 4 people off site right now is a bit of a anomaly, certainly. I think they're relying very heavily on Cyber here to do his job and make sure that he just doesn't die and doesn't get caught out by a blue take. They don't have to worry about Freezer and Laundry being pushed at any moment because they do have free roamers. If anyone manages to sneak down Freezer or Laundry stairs, I'd be very surprised. Malvinas are going to try and completely ignore this roam game and just go for your kind of basic default blue take, which at the moment I think is completely fine. This is one option you can take as a team is, let's just ignore the roamer zone. Oh, ran out of ammo in the L8. That means that Cameraman has got away with his life. Very, very lucky. Extremely lucky that Cameron has not died there.
This is the confidence that we were talking about from FaZe, and it's sort of showing through. They're happy to get themselves out there on the roam, happy to waste that time. Near the Rotero drone there coming into blue. It's going to be dealing with all manner of utility that's in there. High priority target being that deployable shield that's no doubt on the elbow. C4 flies up from the electrical hatch as a nade comes down from Tom. Going to do something to force the players back as a second one is thrown in for good measure. Cyber has now lost his shield, but is still going to be fairly happy to play there. It really is a battle of the nades. That's a nice one thrown in by Mike, but again, it isn't going to do any damage. Cameraman, the only player that suffered any chip damage, and that, of course, was from the engagement that happened upstairs inside of Attic. Less than a minute left now. It's looking scarily like it could be a hatch drop, and if it is, it's going to be into the meat grinder for you. As there's so many angles there being held. Thinkerstim is going to do something to give everyone a little bit of a boost coming into this, but a swing with a shotgun is going to shut down Might. Ragnar there with the immediate trade. Cameraman kind of giving his life up there, but Souls is going to start to find some kills, coupled with Astro, as that hatch drop went as expected. 25 seconds left for Tom to push through Freezer. Is he going to find anything? The answer being no. Astro with the swing there. Kind of surprised that he got away with that one. A lot of body shots going in and a bit of the soft wall coming into play. But FaZe, they look like they can do whatever they want here on Oregon.
Well, Ollie, ever wondered how the sausage gets made?
Yeah, very true.
There you go. Meat grinder set up, ready. Malvinas need to be finding more kills there of those nades. If they're bringing 6 nades, I'm expecting a kill at least. Very, very surprised to see all that utility be for naught. You mentioned only cameraman had taken damage, and that wasn't from utility. That was from a very lucky, single bullet magazine left from the sledge. That was it. Just one bullet tapped them in the back. And yeah, these nades have not done a single bit of shrapnel damage, which is very, very surprising. So Malvinas, if you're bringing this utility, please make it work. Use the information you have with the drones and coordinate that. You let a man play on that pillar double door for way too long. Like, how is he allowed to stay there and not get naded out in time?
I think Tom's push through Freezer came a little bit late as well, given the context. If he'd have had a bit more of an opportunity inside of Freezer, he could have caught a few of the FaZe players off guard there and, as you say, maybe done a little bit of work to alleviate some of that pressure.
Yeah.
But a hatch drop always just looks so desperate to me. You just very rarely see it play off. You're relying on something.
You need blue.
You need a miracle. You need something going well in order for that hatch drop to work. You need a lucky headshot. You need somebody to, find an angle. You need to catch a defender sleeping, and they're not things that you can rely on. You need to take more control, and that's not something that Malvinas really looked to do there. Still, there is time. So we're going to be moving on here. Early info being gathered. Initially going to be Cyber, this time playing on the mute. Cameraman switched over to the smoke. Maybe going to get caught out there, but no, I say that. He's actually willing for the engagement. Got a little bit of assistance now as well as the troops have arrived.
Look at the roamers. Again, starts off with 3 people downstairs on the top floor hold. I don't know what FaZe are up to, but it's working out really, really well for them. Tom, there's somebody right beside you. He does have the shotgun, and Cyber isn't afraid to try and swing with it. So FaZe went for a bit of an oldie but goldie strategy, all in, trying to hold in towards Kitchen. Astro walks down Armory, finds another. What is going on? What is going on this series? It just looks as if FaZe are walking around the map and just taking gunfights. And they're winning the gunfights.
They're being gifted kills on a silver plate at the moment, and they're just saying, yep, thank you very much, I like this, I'll have another one, please. There is nothing more to it than that. Malvinas struggling at every single turn here, just hell-bent on taking these 1 versus 1 engagements and not giving someone like Cyber the respect that he deserves. He is going to challenge you on the roam with an SMG-11. That is the kind of player that he is. Socko finds some success. Finally, is able to shut down Astro as he did get caught on that rotation. Everything's slowed down a little bit now, and that's probably going to benefit Malvinas here. They've been able to get that wall open. Okay, did get a glimpse there of the player just making a crossover into Bungs, and Nate comes out to remove the mute jammer, any utility that might be stopping these drones from working forward. Still, Cyber is going to be playing downstairs. He does have a C4 in his hand.
We'll try and slip in and find out information, eliminate some utility if possible. 50 seconds, and with Kitchen still being in control of FaZe, I mean, this is going to be very difficult for Malvinas to go for really any take at this moment in time. Everything seems to be covered by FaZe. They're not giving anything away. Flashbangs do get tossed in. Malvinas, and a good pick from BLK onto the man playing double window. C4 gets tossed, but that catches nothing. And cameraman playing below. He had those vertical angles for so long. He actually rotates up and finds that kill from Attic. BLK finds bullet, but it is going to be a 1 versus 2. Cyber and cameraman should have enough time to see it out. And if he picks up the diffuser, you have 1 on top, white, 1 on Attic holding the diffuser. And yeah, not taking Attics really costed them that round. Malvinas does pick up the diffuser, but what's it going to cost them? Probably his life, and there you go. Cyber will find that kill. 2-0 FaZe. 2-0 FaZe, Ollie. This is not looking good for Malvinas. Not looking good at all.
It's really not. It looks as though they've already run out of ideas there. I mean, I think this extended roam and the lurk and the fashion that FaZe are playing in, it's not even giving Malvinas the chance to really have any sort of an attack. Because they're getting wrapped up in dealing with this roam early on. It's costing them lives, it's costing them utility, it's costing them drones. And then when it comes to the part of the round where you want to be thinking, right, you know, we need to get attic open, we need to get game room wall open, we need to start doing these things, they're not in positions to be able to do it. And that's because they've lost out early, they've lost utility, they've lost bodies early on. And they're not looking in position to actually make any sort of an execute because they're getting dragged into this almost ranked style play that FaZe are bringing in, that they just know that they're happy to win the gunfights because they know that they're mechanically superior.
FaZe have just gone to their comfort zone, haven't they?
Yeah.
You can see them walk around the map, Ollie. They have sheer confidence. It looks as if any gunfight they go into, they're going to win it. Malvinas looks stunned. Absolutely stunned. And FaZe are playing certainly a different way of Siege that you would expect in Oregon. I mean, holding Kitchen never really happens anymore. Nobody holds Kitchen for the kids' defense anymore, but they did, and it worked for them really well. You start off with that aggressive roam game. And again, I wouldn't say Malvinas that they haven't really been by the book. Not taking attic is always, in my mind, a bit of a blunder. I mean, Maverick is open. Why not bring the Maverick? I would say if you know you're attacking top for Maverick is a necessity for eliminating the attic control. But they're just not bringing it. I think they're really hindering themselves.
We even had the ace 6 picked out of. I think Tom had hovered the ace earlier in the pick phase and then 6 picked on the think. Because I thought the same. I was like, oh, you know, you bring in a couple of hard breaches. That's usually a good start. You know, it gives you more options. But even that was picked off. Starting to see a bit of a take come in now as I think a stim and a couple of Zofia lifelines fly on through. Ooh, BLK going to come into himself with an engagement. Does manage to shut down Souls. Got a glimpse at first. Played a little bit of ring around the rosy there. Just though there could be a flank on here. Armory Stairs looks dangerous, and it will be. Tom, he's going to start pushing his way on through, immediately taking down Camran, but Bullet is there for the refrag. Bullet now, a dangerous spot. You can choose to just hold this and then push at the right time. There's more information here needs to be gathered. 5 drones remain for Malvinas. The Ana clone comes out. Astro, not afraid to make those vertical angles either. Recognizing just how much of this top floor is now under Malvinas' control. They want as many opportunities as possible to have a chance at taking some of those players out. Information coming in as the drone works its way through the kitchen. Astro still has options here. Not sure if he knows that the player's dropped. How has he not heard that one? The swing come through. In fact, it was the clone. Caught even me out at the time. Great use of the shock drone there. That could have opened up the whole round, Demo.
Yeah, it does now give them an opening to play off if they need to. Bullet, where are you headed? I think he has a suspicion somebody might be out behind the white van, but really getting a good position. Vertical game starts to come in for Malvinas, but they cannot secure that kill. Let's say that though, Cyber has been eliminated. BLK just walks in, eliminates 2, and Bullet all by himself picks up a freebie onto Sako. He has no idea he is in that position. Now it's a retake for Bullet. Post-plant retake on top of that. 1 versus 3. Upstairs now. Left looks right. Doesn't know where to look. Nobody's upstairs right now. They're going to be playing the vertical angles from below. And BLK, there he is again. Had a great showing from himself in the opening rounds of Cafe. And it's a good way to get his team back in the game.
A much needed round there. Malvinas able to pick one up on the offsite. They maybe need a bit more than that though. A 4-2 split. Not sure if that would cut the mustard. Back down to Laundry here for FaZe. Now, double hard breach being chosen as Tom does switch from the thermite onto the ace at the last second and just give me a mini heart attack. But, and the Thinker in play as well. Which is going to be 6 picked this time. Tom's still not locked in on the ace. They arguably don't need 2 hard breaches for attacking this site. We're going to actually see the Monty picked. Well, that tells you one thing, Demo. You might get the blue control you were after.
I hope so. really hope so. I wouldn't really see Monty be played any other way. I mean, Laundry Freezer, of course, is going to be the kind of other alternative, but I think from what Malvinas showed us is that they weren't interested at all in Laundry Freezer. I know that you said that, oh, there was one guy pushing Freezer in the late stage. Actually, I went back and I did look at that round. The reason why that man was in Freezer is that FaZe actually had somebody flanking in the final, like, 30 seconds from top floor, and I think Tom chased them all the way down to Freezer. So that's actually how we ended up over there. Right. So, it happens. I mean, whenever he's tunnel visioned in trying to deny the flank, he thinks, okay, I have to try and get a kill here. And he's just been baited in, hasn't he? He's followed the breadcrumbs and he's went straight into the witch's house. Because
it did seem strange that it was so late on in the round that that's where he was. Yeah. It was like he was miles behind the rest of the team. I mean, based off the spawn alone, it's looking like it's not going to be a freezer.
It's insane how much stuff you do miss, isn't it, whenever you're caught up in the moment. Hey, having a replay is just whoever invented the fact that we can rewind. Guy just, wow. Who is the guy that invented a rewind? Who is he? He needs a handshake.
It was PewDiePie, wasn't it?
Certainly. Give him a bro. Was he called a bro?
The YouTube rewind. Is that not what it is?
Outright. What are we talking? What's happening?
Unsure. For some reason, we've got a Monty on the roam clear. I don't think any of us would have bet this really, Demo, would we?
Nope.
Ideally, you want that Monty inside of blue.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty well suited, yeah.
And it's kind of ironic, right? Because this round, FaZe aren't really playing any sort of extended roam.
No, they're
FaZe are just going, yeah, we want this round. We're just going to play it the good old-fashioned way. Cameraman on the freezer stairs. I don't know if it's his favourite position, but it's where we see him most often when he's defending this site. He's going to play the shotgun up close, and he's going to try and, you know, keep control there. Now, the hatch, obviously, is a little bit vulnerable, and the hatch will be opened at some point. He's got Bullet there to assist. But already, the Toxic Babe canisters are going to start cutting off the access. The hatch will now be opened. But Malvinas, they've spent half of the round already. And all they're going to have to show for it is going to be the freezer hatch.
This is a great position from Cameraman. I mean, as the smoke, Monty can't do anything against him if he has a smoke. And Cameraman has the last one out. Here comes the pistol from the Monty, but he will go down and Nade will trade. But Cameraman has done the heavy lifting only. He's eliminated the Monty, the main spearhead of the attack for Malvinas. Is gone. It is gone. And this puts them down a very difficult location because, like you've said, all they have is freezer. They have 50 seconds now to carry out a successful take, and there is still boatloads of utility still up for FaZe.
Yeah, FaZe have got pretty much everything here that they could wish for. The hatch drop does come in. It is going to be successful. First kill is going to go toward BLK. The Finky Stim now going to boost everybody up. Cyber in with the response. Bit of bloodbath that all happens inside of the freezer. There is a bit of information available here as well. Somebody needs to shut down that Iana because they are causing a lot of problems, and that someone's going to be Cyber. Picks up two with the Roni. Astro comes in with the closer.
Not just the Roni, the Ronies, Ollie, that we've just seen pull off a great success. The P10 Ronies hitting their targets, and FaZe, what a hold. It was looking a bit sketchy there for a minute whenever it goes into 2 versus 3. I was like, oh, maybe something's on for Malvinas, but Ollie, all 3 of them grouped up towards the freezer door. And it was so easy for FaZe just to sit and hold the simple angle. I think Malvinas really getting caught out there, being grouped up and just bottlenecked into where FaZe want them to be.
For that whole round to come down to freezer door is very strange indeed. Caraman's kill onto Tom was obviously huge, but Cyber, he'll probably tell you himself, they're not the hardest shots he's ever had to hit in his life. Players have stacked up for him for one, and all he's had to worry about is one doorway because there was nothing else. There was absolutely nothing else there for Malvinas. It was one of the strangest, both composition and coupled with how they then approached it, that I can remember seeing really attacking onto there. If you're going to bring the Monty, at least give yourself some options. The Monty doesn't need the support of the rest of the 4 players. He just needs the support of one to be able to take advantage of that shield and peek around off the information provided. FaZe, 3-1, back up to the top floor. I'll tell you, the 4-2 split is looking more and more likely here. Maybe even a 5-1, depending on how this offsite goes when we get to it next round, depending on, obviously, if FaZe are successful here. But the only big change is going to be the double hard breach. Is that going to be enough? We need to see Malvinas able to execute on that as well and not get dragged into this early roam game.
Yeah, I'm a little bit stunned to not see the Maverick. Yes, it's all well and good bringing double hard breach, but how are you going to get rid of the mute jammer? It means you're going to have to go below and waste other utility. And it's not as if they're bringing a Sophia. They're going to have to use nades. They're going to have to use nades to eliminate mute jammers, and that's a bit of a waste. You want to use your nades to get rid of more important utility, all these such as shields, any banshees that may be lurking around. Obviously, getting kills is going to be a bonus. They've just used the nade to burn a Wamai disc. Like,
hello?
come on. Look, and they've used the nade. They've used another nade to eliminate the mute jammer, and that's one less nade to be used to eliminate a guy in attic. Like, you bring Maverick, you get rid of the mute jammers, and you still have 2 nades, Ollie. Guess what? You still have 2 nades with it. Maverick salesman, here we go.
Well, that's it. You need to be the Maverick salesman again, because we really could have done with it. And you just know that FaZe are going to be rocking the Maverick. Cameraman regularly plays a bit of Mav. Nade sailed on through as more utility is looking to be burnt here. The problem is that Malvinas don't know where a lot of these FaZe players are at the minute. Not a bullet offsite.
No nades.
Cameraman going to be playing fairly tucked in. There's still players that are going to be off-site that are ready and willing to impact come the later part of the round. Zero drone flies in. Going to get shot out as well. Doesn't even get any utility or real information there to act upon. Quite an aggressive push in through the attic, though. This is the player that we really need to keep our eye on. BLK's seen a lot of the kills so far for Malvinas. Bullet is going to open up onto this round. Cameraman picks up a second. Attic control or not is looking like it might not even matter. Cyber on the flank takes down Soko and can look to push and move his way on through. The final 2 players, however, for Malvinas are going to be inside of the attic. Cameraman with the swing! How does he get away with it? Takes the head off Diana and looks for more. Ragnarok getting pushed here. Every conceivable angle from the window and the wall. Cyber shuts him down. Long range kill coming up here with the SMG-11. The debris in the way for us, but I'm sure we can appreciate it none the same.
Malvinas, I just don't know. I don't know the idea behind that take. They've wasted nades to burn Wamai discs. They wasted nades to get rid of mute jammers, where realistically Maverick can do that job 10 times better. They tried to use, Ollie, the Flores drones to eliminate mute jammers. That's what they're trying to do, because they don't have any soft breach. They don't have anyone to go below and get rid of mute jammers. I just don't know. I don't know what they're trying to achieve. They've wasted so many nades, got no kills for it. We've seen the attic push. Yes, they were able to gain attic control, but you looked at the shield placement inside of Kids, Ollie. It shut down anyone going in towards attic, and because they don't have any utility with the nades, that is now an impenetrable position that FaZe can own, and they owned it.
Well, so far FaZe have pretty much owned this series. 4-1. This was the side that they did lose last time. They did lose the offside. It was partly off the back of BLK and his great gun skill on that top floor. But realistically, that's looking like it may be getting countered fairly heavily, given that Cameraman's brought the pulse this time. He's going to be trying to gather all that information. Only 2 C4s for FaZe, though, so it's not going to be something that they're very focused on in terms of a whole team. Astro playing the Oryx as well. A bit of a weird choice.
At this stage, FaZe can experiment. Honestly, Ollie, I think they are sitting in the driving seat. The only person from BLK, or the only person from BLK, the only person from Malvinas is BLK who's actually showing up. 9 kills, 4 deaths. Rest of his team doing very little. Souls don't even have a kill, and it's this dominant. I just don't see this going any way but a FaZe win.
No, it's looking like it's going to be unlikely to be anything else at this point. Obviously, the side switch could be quite important. But realistically, FaZe are just proving in a different league entirely here. Another slow approach from Malvinas. They're fairly well stacked up on this tower side. They'll actually just be opening directly on into sight here, giving themselves a little bit of an option. I feel like they've got so much to clear before they even just consider the site. Sure, there's a little bit of attic control knocking around. FaZe are everywhere and nowhere at the same time. They've got upstairs control. They've got downstairs inside of the basement control. Cameraman moving on through now. He's going to be able to use the heartbeat scanner and potentially throw a C4 up through the hatch. First kill is going to go in favor of Malvinas. A nade now from Might. Look to land onto anything significant. My only main concern at the moment, Demo, is that the site is looking a little bit bare and a little bit empty. FaZe have given away quite a bit of control here in the hope that they're going to be able to retake. If Malvinas recognise that and push on through, they might actually get something down. Ragnar's going to attempt it. He's cut off for the time being and taken down. The C4 from below, the Pulse doing its job. Might's going to be the next player to attempt. Toxic Babe canister this time going on through, but it doesn't look to be causing him any concern. The plant will go down, and now it's a retake. FaZe have to try and move their way on through. Cameraman picks up his second. Astro grabs one as well. 4 versus 2 now. The Terror drone still flying out, desperate to gather any information whatsoever, but the heartbeat scanner is doing just that as well, as Tom, he gets lit on the doorway. Bullet. And he's going to get himself onto that disable. A swing there as Astro is with the cover and fire. Souls as well. Close stuff. FaZe almost body blocking there in the dying few stages.
My, oh my. Malvinas. Like you said, Ollie, the site was looking pretty bare and they just walked in. They walked in, they went for the plant straight away. It was denied from a great C4 from the Pulse, who I thought played a massive part in the information for FaZe for that retake. And then another man just walked in again, stuck to the fuse this time. Breach was a little bit skiffed, just a little bit skewed, but still they managed to make it work. But the retake from FaZe, my oh my. The information from the Pulse, they knew exactly where to aim, they knew exactly where the pre-fire. They could have defused a lot sooner than what they actually went for, by the way, Ollie. I don't know if you've seen the positioning, but they could have long-armed it in safety. Away from kind of how the Havana holes were worked out. It was a very easy long arm, but, you know, FaZe, sometimes they make it difficult for themselves. They try and go for style points, Ollie, with a full man retake.
There were style points there, I'm sure, but it wasn't very pretty, was it? FaZe doing FaZe things there. You got to feel for Malvinas because a couple of different circumstances, and that maybe works out for them. They did the heartbeat, they got the plant down. They just didn't have that full control. It was kind of weird to not see them send anybody downstairs. Typically, if teams are actually going to try and plant in that position on that site, they will send somebody downstairs because they know that a C4 is inevitable from below. And especially when you play in a Pulse, it's even more likely to land, given that they can actually see where the player is, not just have a call and know the angles and know where the sort of hatch leads to upstairs and which sort of direction you need to throw the C4 on. So, kind of strange choice from Malvinas, but a 5-1 half from FaZe. 2 rounds away from locking themselves into games tomorrow and confirming the major demo.
Yeah, it's very true as well. Doesn't feel like it's been this big, heavy, weighted match, Ollie. It just seems the FaZe are having a bit of a warm-up for tomorrow. I mean, Malvinas have looked out of it for quite a while now, and FaZe are on top of their game. You know, game faces on, focused in, honing in as well as they can. You know, I think the storyline for FaZe that we've kind of set out this season only has been disappointing last season. Didn't get into the top 4 position, didn't get to go to the Mexico Major. Similar to what MIBR, I suppose, have probably felt in the past week. So it was all about redemption for FaZe. It was all about vengeance and proving that they are this super studded team. You know, this team that can challenge into, you know, top 4 in the world. Top 8, I think, was the top 8 they finished inside of Invite. So we know the caliber of this team. And it was unfortunate to not be able to see them at Mexico, but with how they're playing, I have no doubt we'll see them at Sweden.
No, they've got to deserve to be there to some degree at this point. You know, they've had a great stage inside of the BR6. They've really proved themselves in Copa, which is something that we've not really seen them do all too much just yet. You know, the previous Copa seasons haven't been too hot, so it's nice to see them fire on all cylinders when the time is right. But they've still got a game to close out here. For all that they've got a great lead, things can change, especially on a map like Oregon. Babe Gas is going to cut off Bullet as he tries to push down Freezer. Soul's trying to play the laundry hatches as well. Could look to make his way down the stairs. They need to get their act together with the push. They've got pretty much everything they need in the right position. There isn't anybody inside of blue or rear stage, but that isn't going to be their main focus. They're going for a laundry Freezer side take. 35 seconds left is when you would expect things to really start happening here. Just waiting for that toxic babe gas to dissipate before pushing through. First 3-4 kills come in for Malvinas before Cyber finds one in return. And even then, it is only Astro left alive. 19 seconds to pick up another 3. He's found one. Unlikely going to be given the opportunity here, as that push was cut off. Something rotten. Malvinas there, standing firm on the laundry site.
Yeah, the C4, massive from Malvinas, really saved them. And FaZe, surprised that they've went for the laundry freezer. I thought whenever I seen the kind of Capital be locked in, Capital's your best friend for taking in towards blue. You know, in towards elbow ollie. You think of how many times people struggle challenging a shield. You quick peek in a Capital bolt, you fill that entire little section up with flames, you can't play in there. You know, we've seen plenty of times where teams have played a Goyo shield inside of elbow. The Goyo shield's been removed, and it covers up that entirety of that square. Capital bolt will do exactly the same job.
Exactly. And maybe that's why we see the Capital banned on Cafe. There's a Malvinas ban, so as soon as it's available here, Cyber's going to be using it. Well, not to any effect, at least inside of that round. Upstairs now to Kid Storms we go. Malvinas looking to make the comeback. I mean, if there's a map to do it on demo, Oregon's not a bad shout.
Yeah, definitely not. Bad shout at all. Curious to see, though, how Malvinas want to try and play this top floor, because I look at their setup volley. They've got some shotgun holes into the attic wall, facing in towards Trophy. They have the Goyo with a Goyo shield, I believe, set up inside a Trophy also. They will try and hold a little more aggressive in towards bedroom as best that they can. FaZe don't have, you know, a Flores on their lineup. Should make really quick work of those Flores drones, but they do have 6 nades. And they have a Maverick! Brilliant from FaZe. A real shining light of their generation. Geniuses, aren't they?
Visionaries, some have said. I mean, it's fairly standard for this map, and it's fairly standard for Cameraman, so maybe we're giving them a little bit too much credit there. But it's good to see nonetheless. Cyber making a mess downstairs. Be focused on giving himself a rotation there for later. Sledge downstairs. We're going to see some of those nades thrown vertically, perhaps. He's going to need a bit of information to be able to do that. The nade is going to come in there from Cameraman. Kind of strange. We see some advantage there being taken as, okay, just peeks his way down white. Has an inkling that there could be a Cyber at the bottom of it. We'll find opening kill again. FaZe struggling on the attack, getting that opening engagement. We saw the first 4 kills flood in favor of Malvinas last round. This isn't quite as dramatic, but still an opener for the defenders. Going to be a little bit of a weight off their mind right now, as there's maybe a flank on here as well. 2 players going to make that rotation, but at least the first 2 certain death. Mike gets taken on out of the picture. Immediately traded, though, by Soko. So still an advantage here for Malvinas.
He's not good standing. Breach is open for them, though, so they have something to work off. One player looking downstairs, and Tom still has a... He doesn't have the C4 anymore, and I don't know what he can provide then. He doesn't have the ability to really set up the vertical game. I like this rotation over from Cameraman. Is Wamai going to be ready for that engagement? Soko is. He's inside the bedroom, holding on firm as best as he can. And there goes Tom with a double kill. Blink and you miss it. FaZe annihilated. That C4 is actually pre-placed, it appears to be. And it will secure the kills. Malvinas battle back with another round. FaZe starting to slip just a little bit.
I want to know where and when that C4 actually got placed, because Cameraman naded that spot at near to the start of the round. So unless it got placed by a rotating player, or just didn't explode at the time because the nade wasn't close enough to it, but that seems unlikely. Bit of a strange one there. Could be about to see 4-2 halves here for Oregon. Wouldn't be the most unusual thing to see. But the offsite will tell us pretty much everything we need to know in terms of how this game is going to go from this point onwards. Malvinas win here, and boy oh boy, we're probably in for 3 maps. If FaZe are able to grab one back, we've still got a game on our hands, and there is still a chance that they're going to be able to pick up another before Malvinas lock us up into either an overtime or a map win of their own. Villa, of course, the next map to be played if we need it. And there's a lot of people out there that will probably like to see it.
Got a great tweet here for you, Ollie. From Meligini, of course, our other side of the pond, Brazilian broadcasters. And Meligini has tweeted saying, BLK, come to Brazil. I think that's all you need to know about how they're feeling about watching BLK. Because right now, he is performing extremely well. Extremely well. A great find. I don't think he's from Argentina. I actually think he's from Paraguay. So, fun fact, there you go. First ever Paraguay player that I've seen. And it looks as if they make some great players.
It does. I'm just on the thing now, and I can confirm. Paraguay is his, at least that's the flag that he's got next to his name on Wikipedia, so we can assume that is where he's going to be from.
Yep.
Great to see. It's always great to see the teams that we don't necessarily get to watch week in, week out as well. It's nice to see what else is out there in terms of quality and skill and all that sort of stuff. And there's always a couple of players that pique our interests. And likewise, as you say, I'm sure there's a couple of players that a few of the Brazilian fans wouldn't mind watching weekly in their own region as well.
Yep, very true.
First time we actually see FaZe get the opening pick here on the attack. Could be a little bit of a foreshadowing there.
Cafe, Ollie. I mean, whenever FaZe got that opening pick, they were just insufferable to play against if you are Malvinas. Ragnar, though, has managed to get a kill back, and Sokka with a C4 has eliminated Astro. Cameraman will look to try and Maverick in towards Kids, but doesn't look as if anyone's... Oh, never mind. Tom is extremely close on his wall, and PLK is move in, trying to support him. So the FaZe are going to try and leave that top floor, and all of them are going to rotate downstairs in towards Meeting Souls, attempting now to open up that kitchen wall. This is an attack that we never get to see. His attackers go for a meeting side take, open up in towards kitchen wall, and it is again a worry, Ollie, because they don't have Kids control, and the Kids players can essentially stop anyone walking in.
Yeah, FaZe look to be almost clutching at straws here with this approach. We've got Cyber looking to make his way through small office. Ragnar are able to reposition some yokai drones there as well. There's going to be nobody upstairs for the time being, and probably for the foreseeable inside of this round. Cameraman looking to make his way through the barricade at the top of Freezer stairs. Going to be greeted with a shotgun if he does so, and if he isn't careful, the players inside of security there. He's got some information to work with as well. FaZe very split up, and they need to start winning these engagements. Cyber's going to start, leveling things up to a 3 versus 3. Soko, he's got the shotgun in close range, finds one. Can he grab the second? This would almost be it for FaZe as the final 2 kills, 3 kills, all sail on through. FaZe looking lost in the last 30 seconds of that round, split up without all too much of a plan at all. For Malvinas there to win on the split side demo, that could be massive. That could be us going to a guaranteed overtime here.
Yeah, and FaZe, don't know what to say about that round. Oh, like, close your eyes. I want you to picture something. Okay?
Yeah.
Nice,
Okay,
close, right? Now imagine FaZe as a chicken. Okay? And imagine that chicken's head's been cut off. That was what they were doing that round.
See, I imagined like a cockerel.
Right?
With, you know, like the redness under the cockerel's neck.
Yeah.
That was like an F for FaZe.
Oh. So sad.
That was the shape of it.
I'm leaning back. I'm just, yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Well, because I wasn't allowed to imagine a head, you see. Because I was too busy like figuring out which FaZe player I'd want as the head of the chicken. But then when you told me it didn't have one, I was like, well, it's obvious, isn't it? It's got a FaZe neckerchief on.
Brilliant. Brilliant. We'll have to go out and try and find a chicken and actually make that picture happen. It's like, because now you've really set up mine.
I think it'd probably be safer to draw it.
Maybe we can get in contact with FaZe. Maybe see if they can hire out a chicken for some content. So, I open up the emails. Oh, I've got a message. Oh, an email. Oh, can you buy a chicken and we will dress it up in FaZe gear? New mascot for FaZe, the FaZe chicken.
Headless chicken. And certainly what they look like there inside of that round, and what they've looked like on attack so far, which is shocking, going from how confident they were on the defense. They were happy to take any engagement. They were happy to get out there on the roam and do whatever they liked. Now they've got themselves onto the attack, and it's like, oh god, guys, we might actually have a bit of a problem on our hands here. We need to start pulling rounds from somewhere, otherwise this is going to go to Villa. And if this goes to Villa, we don't know which way it's going to go.
Still lead advantage though from FaZe, Ollie. We still have to keep that in mind. FaZe still in a good position, because now this is where they have a chance now to rectify their mistakes and rectify the issues that might have happened to them last round. This is where they get like the kind of full rotate of attacking all the bomb sites again, and they will start now with the basement. They went for a laundry freezer take last time, and it looks as if they're going to try and do a similar thing once again. I don't know if that's the greatest idea, considering that they are up against the mirror windows. The mirror is very, very difficult to deal with, as we know in this current state, where teams don't have the easiest way of kind of incorporating like a Twitch into your lineup. It's very difficult to really sacrifice an operator in favor of a Twitch whenever we are in still a very heavy utility meta, where we're used to seeing, you know, either Sophia or an Ashe, and obviously the nade operators always play a big part, so it can be tricky. Might is inside freezer. Hatch is open for him though. He doesn't care. He's still looking for the swings. Risky position to be playing in. FaZe are going to try and take their time and see what they want to do. Moving down in towards laundry. Bullet will go. Still has 2 nades in his pocket. Potential nade of the mirror window. Would that be an option for them? But then again, there are plenty of ADSs, plenty of one-eye disc, and that's a great swing from Might. The information only being fed through the mirror window. This is what I'm talking about. The mirror makes it just so difficult to really take advantage of what you can have as an attacker on this bomb site.
Mirrors really are a big problem here. I think that FaZe are feeling that pinch pretty severely at the moment. Trying to gather as much intel as possible. It's the second time that the Hibana pellets have been shot off the mirror window as well. Might seeing some aggression here. He's going to push through, take down Astro. Cameraman immediately in there with the refrag. Nade cooked and sent through. But it's going to be Tom that finds the kill onto Cameraman. As FaZe are all but down to souls. Picks 1, got 3 more to find. 20 seconds to do so. Caught in the woodworm. The Toxic Babe canister going to cut off a lot of that vision as well. This honestly looks like we could be leveling things up to 5-5. C4 shot out on the floor there. Souls isn't being given an opportunity. Malvinas, they are sitting on their hands. At least everyone apart from Tom is, as he pops up from behind the broken mirror and is able to pick up that final kill.
My oh my, FaZe Clan, we're sitting 5-1 up. And Malvinas have pulled back 4 rounds in a row. My oh my, what do you say about FaZe at this moment? Because it's not looking good for them. That basement, again, they've just tried to flood their way in through laundry and freezer, and they've just hit a wall. The mirror windows. Oh dear, Astro. So, Ollie, I know that I've been a big speaker of a team like NIP where things aren't going well for them. Panic Monty.
Oh dear.
Panic Monty from FaZe. It has appeared.
Take a deep sigh. Take a very, very deep breath. Inhale the copium if you are a FaZe fan. On Astro as well. You know, you think about all the players to put onto a Monty, and, you know, it's a conversation we bring up every time, and it's worth it. If you bring in a shield, you're losing a gun. Astro 9 and 7 at the moment, and you're losing that gun. Might not be the best thing. Might not be exactly what you need here. FaZe are going to try and pull something. They need to try and get a plant off. They need to try and get some control, grab a couple of kills, do whatever it may be. They got hurt nearly everywhere last time that they attacked into this site. The flanks were a problem. Just getting themselves in to the building was a problem. There's pre-placed C4s below. It was a nightmare. Is the Monty the answer to those questions?
I'd like to think that the Monty can do something for them, but it is going to be very, very difficult to see what FaZe have in store for us. Because we don't really associate Monty with a team like FaZe. I don't really think it's one that I would ever really say, oh, you know, that they can play this Monty. Oh, yes, that, you know, that's a good pick from them. It just never really seems like that for me, personally, whenever I watch FaZe. I think they're much more of a team who likes the aggression and playing off the refrags that they can gain. They're not really in it for the information. The closest thing I would say we get to information for FaZe would be a Lion. That's what we see a lot from FaZe is a Lion choice, and that was a pre-play C4 from Tom, but Cyber caught onto and probably expecting, hey, if the C4 is there, the Goyo won't be too far away, and he got his man, and that is a good start for FaZe. And Monty's still alive, which will cause, of course, as we know, Malvinas problems as it gets into that late game. Whenever Monty is staring right at you, feeding that information, what can you do against them? Don't have the smoke. They have no real way of countering this Monty right now.
Tom getting caught out there for being a little bit too predictable. There was a pre-play C4 in the previous round. It's not something that you're going to catch. Cyber out with 2 rounds in a row. Ooh, what is going on here? Astro able to grab the kill onto Mai there as some aggression was being shown. Soko, he's going to be very vulnerable, especially given the positioning of his Goyo shield. It's actually going to force him all the way back. The angle can't be traversed, but it's not going to matter. The pinch is there as FaZe start to pick up kills at a serious rate of knots. Ragnaral left as the final surviving player on Malvinas, and he too will be shut down. FaZe have woken up a flawless here just when they needed it to put themselves on match and series point.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff from FaZe. That opening pick I thought was extremely well executed by the Sophia. And then from there, you just think FaZe, they have all this control. I mean, Malvinas, the strategy that they were playing, it gave them the main breach, Ollie. The main breach was opened up by the defense. Attic wall was opened up by the defense. All these little elements that assist FaZe have been crucial. FaZe now, they sit match point 1 round away from going to Sweden. 1 round. What are the instructions? How are they? What are they going to do? I mean, if they want to go to Sweden, Ollie, I mean, it is, of course, the land of instructions. And they need to try and build together around, don't they?
It's going to be relentless, that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I've got a particular, I've got a particular person in mind that could be a bit of a nightmare with those puns.
Sweden already is setting up to be quite the event. I am interested to see how the EU situation still manages to find out, because I still don't know how that's going to work out. So it's definitely going to be a good event. And right now, I think we have 2 great teams to represent Brazil. You have Team 1, we have Furia. We know what both those teams are capable of. Very, very young. I mean, I always looked at NIP, FaZe, and Liquid, Ollie, as the kind of old guard. Maybe not Liquid now with the 2 new additions, but still, I think, still old guard. And Fury and Team 1 have been this new generation. The Wonder Kids.
They're the Zoomers. They really are. The Zoomers that come in with the fresh aim and all the fancy electronics, the fancy train, and they're the ones that are, like, really here to play at the moment. And FaZe are a part of that old guard, like you say. You do get the feeling that they're heavyweights.
They have the Immortals legacy as well inside the FaZe.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, remember, you know, Cyber was a long-standing member of that lineup.
It looks as though they're here to play in this round. They're going to pick up the opener yet again. And LMG doing the work. spoke to cameraman about the LMGs and the state of the game and stuff, and he was like, without doubt, the best weapons on attack. And Astro showed us just exactly why. Tons of ammunition, and in his capable hands, he's easily able to pick up that opening engagement. Immediately puts Malvinas here on the back foot. Souls just going to be gathering a little bit of info here, along with Cyber. Opted for the Twitch this time. There isn't going to be any mirror in play, but he's still able to remove utility as you see fit. Great nade there coming in from cameraman off the back of some information, no doubt. FaZe looking pretty unstoppable here. Toxic Babe canisters already being used as the plant is going down under the cover of the Capital. Souls is probably going to nail that one to the floor, and there's nothing that Malvinas can do about it. Soko and Tom now caught out in Showers, and Showers corridor as smoke is going to cut off lines of sight. Players getting lit all over the shop. BLK steps up, picks up the first kill, shutting down Souls, but is it going to be enough? Soko inside of the bathroom has to land his shots here and will. But very quickly, he is the sole survivor. He's in a retake. He's got 22 seconds. He's got kills to find and a diffuser to disable, and he cannot do any of it. Astro's going to swing and pick up that final kill with the pistol, and that is FaZe guaranteed for tomorrow. They lock themselves into that game against Furia.
Well done, the FaZe. Not only does it lock them in for tomorrow's matchup against Furia, that will lock them into a top 4 position this split inside of LATAM. And that does mean they get a ticket to Sweden for the major in November. So congratulations